Namaskar friends, this is NJ, your host on this channel. In this video, we will have our discussion on the chart of another celebrity who has got a very special planetary alignments in her chart. So guys, like the way I always share the backstory of any of the topics on which I make videos. So it's not like that today we will be talking on the chart of Meghan Markle. So it's not that recently a show on her life has been streaming on Netflix. So this show did not give me this idea, rather story is very interesting. So it's just like that today is Saturday at the time when I'm recording this video. I keep fast on Saturdays, and today Saturn was transiting right over very close to the degrees of my sun, because my sun is placed in the Capricorn. So in any case, I was very lethargic, lack of energy. I was coming back from work, and you would not believe, close to 1644, like 444. I was just scrolling through this like a news platform app which I follow. I came across this news on Meghan Markle, and actually this news was filled with a lot of disgust because I have got a huge respect for this lady. Like guys, when we talk about people like, whether you talk about Rishi Sunak, you talk about Barack Obama, you talk about Meghan Markle, so more than the position or place where they are in the society, they also represent something. Like I still remember this interview I heard where Rishi Sunak's mother-in-law, she said this thing that she was waiting for a flight at London, and there was this fellow passenger, she was also in the queue. She came to her and said, you are in the wrong queue, economy class or queue is over there in that corner. So that is the only reason. I do not want to get into all these things because then it will distract us from the main topic in consideration, which is about studying Meghan Markle's life. So just because I came across this post, an astrologer within me got curious. Okay, let me look at the details of her and the kind of synchronicity which I found in her birth details. So it actually intrigued me that okay, today I have to make a video on this topic. So this is the backstory. Now we will shift our discussion to her birth details, to her chart. So definitely guys, like the way I have already mentioned this thing, that Meghan Markle represents a lot many things, like being a person of color, entering a royal family, and the kind of resistance which she faced, and both of her life, like her and her husband, support and resistance, mass public uproar. So there's a lot of things which is getting reflected in her chart as well. So whatsoever her public life is, when I got into the nitty-gritty of her planetary alignments, her birth details, trust me, I was not surprised. So guys, any of the discussion always first begins with studying her date of birth vibration, because we have to also take into consideration the influence of the numbers as well from numerology. So she is born on the August 4th, 1981. So her birth date number, which always tells about the personality of the person. So number 4, which is being ruled by the Rahu. If you will make a sum total of her complete birth details in order to determine her life path number, that will also come out to be 4, 13/4. So that in itself tells about that if you will find a number appearing both in her date of birth and in the complete life path number, so that in itself says something. And just because 4 is a number being controlled by Rahu, so that means we have to see the placement of Rahu in her birth chart. I will again say the same thing. She is a person who has got a very special chosen destiny. So now we will open up her sidereal Vedic chart. So friends, we will first start our discussion with looking at the placement of her birth date ruling planet, which in her case is also her life path number ruling planet as well. Rahu's placement in her Lagna chart. So as you can see that she is born with the Cancer Lagna, and Rahu is placed right over there in her first house. That in itself tells about the prominence of nodes in her life. Second thing is that, guys, whenever we talk about royalty, any sort of royal rights and birth rights over there, individual placement and dignity of sun becomes very important. So as you can see that her sun is placed in the first house. It is conjunct with Rahu. That could be responsible for a successful Hollywood career or getting married and access to a royal family. But over there, because Rahu is conjunct with sun, it will always create a question mark, resistance, all sort of differing opinion amongst the masses, amongst the publication media houses, because of this kind of alignment right over there in her first house. But guys, the saving grace is that her ascendant is placed in the Punarvasu nakshatra. So all the Western audience who do not know about what is nakshatra, so in our Vedic calculation we divide the zodiac sign in 3 different nakshatra as well, which gives us a deeper insight of the planetary vibration. So because if ascendant tells about her personality, about her health, about her public image, so Lagna being placed in the Punarvasu can be seen as a saving grace. But the distinctive part about the Punarvasu nakshatra is that whatsoever you want to accomplish or achieve, it generally gives success in the second attempt. Now guys, as you can see that in order for us to do a scrutinization of her life, we have to see that in which dignity her ascendant lord is placed. So as you can see that her ascendant lord moon is placed in the 3rd house, and it is conjunct with Saturn and Jupiter. Now guys, kind of pay some attention over here. Her moon is placed in the most perfectionist, meticulous zodiac sign, which is Virgo, but within Virgo as well it is placed in the Hasta nakshatra. Now Hasta nakshatra people tend to remain very perfectionist, like they generally carry very good sense of humor as well. They are very good in the performing arts as well. But the beautiful aspect is that Hasta is a nakshatra which is being ruled by the moon in itself. So that gives a strengthened state or a stability in your emotions, in your feeling, that no matter how much resistance you are facing, you still have this capacity to keep going strong. Because guys, in her case, her 10th house lord planet Mars is kind of agitated in the 12th house. And if you will even look at the chart of Prince Harry as well, over there as well you will find that even he has got a very prominent planetary placement in his 12th house. That in itself tells about secret enemies, hidden enemies. But guys, in her case, the saving grace is that her moon is not only placed in the 3rd house, it is conjunct with 2 most important planets, a planet of good fortune and a planet of destiny. So her moon is conjunct with Saturn and Jupiter, which can be seen as a saving grace in her case, in her life. The only concern is that guys, if you will look at her 7th house, because everything is happening and whatsoever she has gained, apart from her talents in performing arts and other aspects of life, marriage actually played a very significant role in her life. Now, if you will look at her 7th house, Ketu is being placed over there. So all those people who have this notion that Ketu can deny the marriage, you always forget this thing that Ketu can also give you a soul level connection as well. And whenever we talk about the prospects of fame, recognition, so Ketu has got a league of its own. Ketu is generally associated with the flag. So that in itself, in her case, is promising that a very soul level connection, a very deeper connection with the partner within the marriage. And as you can see that her 7th house lord Saturn is also in a positive influence in her 3rd house. So that is something guys which you can see from her Lagna chart. So this is the synopsis of her complete overall life. Now if you have to see deeper into her matrimonial life, to be precise, so the moment we will open her D9 chart, so the first good indication is that she has got a Vargotama Lagna. So her ascendant sign in the Navamsa is also the same. So which gives a very strong personality, strong sense of righteousness and a strong path to follow. Now guys, if you will look at her D9 chart, so her Venus is kind of afflicted. So it hardly matters that which planet is your 7th house lord, because even if you will look at the 7th house lord in the D9 chart, so Saturn is kind of debilitated in the 10th house. So that is the only reason. If you will give attention, so whatsoever is happening in the life of her husband, all the blame is coming to her. But you have to see it from this way, that whatsoever has happened or is happening is for her good only, or husband's good only. It's the stars of Meghan Markle which is not only protecting her but protecting her husband as well. But just because 7th house lord in the D9 chart just tells about the direction which marriage is going to take. So 7th house lord, specifically Saturn, which is also connected with the authority, and 7th house also tells about your public image as well. So 7th house lord getting debilitated in the 10th house will always create this question mark or sort of issues in the acceptance from the masses, which you can see over here. But again guys, the good part is that Jupiter is very strongly protecting her, and because a moon in her case becomes the Lagna lord of the Navamsa, it is conjunct with Jupiter both in the Lagna chart, in the D9 chart as well. So that in itself is protecting her. And guys, if you will even give attention, so yeah, one more thing which before I forget. So in her case, Venus is debilitated and it is conjunct with Rahu in the 3rd house. So that also tells about that media publication might not play a very healthy role. And even when we talk about people in your near circle, so sometimes what happens is that if we only look at the Lagna chart's 3rd house, over there you will get to know that okay, all the friends, all the acquaintances in your royal family and connections can be trusted. But if you will get deeper into it, these people are not carrying some true authentic intentions for you. That we can see in the D9 chart's 3rd house as well. Venus is debilitated and being conjunct with Rahu. So the people on whom you are putting your trust, your faith, they are only manipulating things behind your back. That we can see with this combination. And lastly friends, we cannot conclude this discussion without looking at which all planetary time periods are currently active in her life. So if you will give attention, she is in the Jupiter Mahadasha right from the August of 2015. Now guys, it becomes very important to understand the role of planet Jupiter, because Jupiter is not only strongly conjunct with her ascendant lord in the Lagna chart, planet Moon, but also in the D9 chart as well. D9 chart's 1st house lord is Moon again, and Jupiter is conjunct with it even in the D9 chart as well. And Jupiter becomes a very strong planet for her because it has got the rulership of her 9th house of luck and fortune, which is somehow protecting and guarding her. So guys, if you will look at the Antardasha as well, so within the Jupiter Mahadasha, she is currently in the Ketu Antardasha, which is going to be active till June of 2023. So one thing is for sure, that in her matrimonial life, in her public life, there is going to be some very stark, some very extreme event which will happen in this time period. But again guys, when we talk about the influence of Ketu or time period of Ketu, this is the time which demands complete surrender, because you are helpless in front of Ketu. Ketu is the only planet which asks and demands complete surrender. So that is something which we can see. But the good part is that guys, when we talk about the Mahadasha of the Jupiter, the good part is that the planets which are friendly to it, the Antardasha sub period of those planets generally come in the latter half of the Jupiter Dasha. So just like that, after this Ketu, Venus, then in the Sun, Moon, Mars, so that will definitely bring a kind of a relief or the kind of stability or harmony or status which she deserves, not in the royal family but also in the eyes of the public as well. So this is something guys which I wanted to say as a part of my inputs on this chart of Meghan Markle. For further more updates and notifications on the divine science of Vedic astrology, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and like my Facebook page. Dhanyavad.